let's call to order. This is the notice of the Elk Grove Township public hearing on the tentative budgets for the Town Fund, General Assistance, Sewer, Road Department for the fiscal year of 2024-2025. Roll call.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Keenley.
Present.
Trustee May. Trustee Perns.
Present.
Supervisor Bussie.
Okay. And Connie. So you got that noted?
Yes.
Connie is here. So we'll move on to the hearing regarding the Elk Grove Township Fund, General Assistance, Sewer, and Road Department, tentative budget, and the appropriation ordinances. Is there any public comment? There is not. Is there any board comments?
No.
No. That will adjourn the public hearing on the tentative budgets for the Town Fund, General Assistance, Sewer, and Road Department for the fiscal year of 2024-2025.
We need a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Thank you. Second? It is adjourned.
And voice vote?
Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That gives us 5 minutes for the regular meeting. Meeting to order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Trustee Narodowski.
Present.
Trustee Keenley.
Present.
Trustee May. Trustee Perns.
Present.
Supervisor Bussie.
We'll move on to any public comment. And with that, let's go on to the consent agenda. That is the authorization for payroll bills, Town Fund, General Assistance, Road Department, and Sewer. The Supervisors, Social Services, Employment Center, Food Pantry, Youth Services, Adult and Family Counseling, Transportation, and Financial. Do I have a motion to approve the
So
consent
moved.
agenda?
Second.
Excellent. Is there any discussion?
No.
Perfect. Roll call.
Trustee Narodowski.
Aye.
Trustee Keenley.
Aye.
Trustee Perns.
Aye. We'll now move on to the discussion and potential action on the approval of the minutes for the February 26, 2024 board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Excellent. Any discussion?
No.
Good. Roll call.
Trustee Narodowski.
Aye.
Trustee Keenley.
Aye.
Trustee Perns.
Aye. There are no presentations tonight. So with that, let's move on to the reports. Our assessors here. Connie?
It's been extremely busy in the office because they finally got out the booklets for homeowners exemption, senior exemption, and senior freeze. The problem became readily apparent when we discovered with the new online system that there were flaws. And we're seeing so many more people because even those who felt computer literate enough to file for these exemptions online by themselves, they'd get roadblocked and it would stop. And so obviously we became aware of this when we tried. I called around to multiple other townships who were experiencing the same situation. And we all came to the conclusion that we obviously had to come up with a workaround because things were stacking up and so I then also called the president of the Cook County Township Assessors Association, talked with his senior deputy. She was doing the same workaround. So there's flaws in the system. The county's been made aware of them. I don't know. I can understand, I can rationalize why they did the form the way they did. I think they wanted an all-encompassing form that you could do homeowners, senior freeze, disabled, et cetera. But with all of the asterisks that they have put in requiring information, it would totally jam if we were just, doing, a senior exemption, and they wanted all sorts of information that was not relevant to a particular exemption. So that's been problematic. They're going to have to work it out. We're using the workaround. The one thing we do is we always follow up and go back and see if the information is in, because that's always been critical. We had a stack of permits that had been sitting there for a while that we had inputted weeks ago. Finally, last week, when we tracked them, they'd finally all gotten put in. And I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but our municipalities, our taxing bodies, need to know they've got a correct equalized assessed value, for tax purposes. And certainly they want a larger value than a smaller one. So, it's been problematic. They're trying to work that out too. It all goes back to the implementation of the new computer system. We wish, as an organization of assessors, that they would have run some of these programs by us before they put them online, or done a parallel system, so that at least if we ran into problems, that we could use, an alternate solution. So that, pretty much encompasses what's been going on in the office. I will also say that I was interviewed last Thursday with the Better Government Association and with the Tribune. They seem to be wanting to do an article on the county assessor, and in particular permits, which I found interesting. There had been an online article in the Tribune some months ago about unreported properties, properties that, for example, if you go online, you see a small ranch when in fact it's been a tear down and it's now a McMansion. So I think that's pretty much what their thrust was, is just unidentified properties that should be on the rolls because, again, in the interest of fairness, those properties are not paying the appropriate property taxes, and that's shared with everybody else who has to pick up the slack. So that's the conclusion of my report. If you have any questions.
Is the smart file, is that what's used by the users or the community, or that's by the office?
We use the smart file, but when you go on the CCAO website, I think they would probably consider that probably the smart file too, but it's just awful.
Oh, kind of host, okay.
Basically, instead of identifying yourself as married, we're having to put single in there. Otherwise, we can't get past certain, Or is there a trust? God forbid we should put there as a trust in there, because that blocks up the system. So, yeah, they're going to have to work this out.
Sounds like there was no test run.
If they did a test run, they missed a lot of things. I can't even imagine. But, the red flags just went up. Offices started calling other offices. Are you having a problem with this? Yeah, we're having it. So then I'd phone another office. It was almost like a telephone tree. So it'll eventually get worked out, but right now, we're just using a workaround.
Well, thank you, Connie, and keep up the good work, because your office sure does that. Sue Ellen, our clerk.
Okay, I have 2 FOIAs on my report, both from Smart Procure. One wanted information about employee names, titles, departments, et cetera, and the other wanted information about purchasing records. And Administrator Piat got back to both of them with the information. The only other thing is I did send in the application for the Elk Grove Village Hometown Parade in September. And Mandy Stevenson and Corey Dewey are designing a little information card that we're going to hand out with the candy at the parade. And Corey had some input about what she wanted to see on there, just giving our residents more information about how to contact the township and what we can do to help them. So that'll be good. So that's it.
Thank you, Sue Ellen. Our supervisor, Bussey, is not here tonight, but he did give us a report. And I first wanted to say, or ask a question. Did everyone get the Statement of Economic Interest from the Cook County Clerk's Office?
Yes.
Okay, that deadline is May 1st to have that filed. And now I'll read and comment on Supervisor Bussey's report. The work on the Youth Services and Community Room and the new Youth Services Office has been completed, and Renee and Ed will be moving in over the next couple of days. The Adult and Family Counseling will be occupying the former Youth Service Office with the expected hiring of an additional therapist. The space is needed by that department. The standalone freezer and third checkout lane has been installed in the food pantry. There is still some electrical work to be completed before the freezer is operational. And with the food pantry, that demand continues to be very high, as we all know. Work is continuing on the challenge course and the bike safety course, and the challenge course should be available for use by early summer, and the first bike safety class should start with the fall school semester. The Decennial Report Committee should have that report ready to be presented to the board by April board meeting or May meeting at the latest. Personal matters are, there is a new transportation coordinator, Rose Ragona, has been hired to eventually replace Debbie. There is a new food pantry associate, Chris Jez, has been hired to fill the vacancy. Chris has served as the associate in the past, and we're pleased that she was able to return. We're in touch with a possible part-time therapist for the adult and family counseling. There continues to be a significant waiting list for the adult and family counseling as well. Also, the filming of mini videos highlighting township services have begun. The first video will be focused on the food pantry, and these videos will be posted on the township website. The neat thing about those is the goal is to continue to inform the residents of our services, and these videos will definitely do that on the new and improved website. There are some dates to remember, and it is, do your best to attend these, because this really will get the board in front of people. But first off is the township annual meeting, April 9th. All elected officials should be in attendance. There's a community empowerment fundraiser, that's April 11th at Mount Prospect 34, District 34s or 34s in Mount Prospect. And that is an excellent fundraiser because it really helps out Corey and her department. Township Spring Fling Party, that was the old, the holiday party that due to inclement weather got changed. It's now Spring Fling, and that's going to be April 19th at Cooper's Hawk at 6:30. There's going to be a shredding day with the Elk Grove Lions, and that's May 4th at the Township. Community Service Day is May 23rd at the Township. There's a DMV Service Day with Representative Mussman, that's June 28th at the Township. And then there is another shredding day with the Mount Prospect Lions, and that's September 14th at the Recplex. There's another reminder that all expenses accrued in fiscal year 2023-24 need to be submitted by the end of the fiscal year, March 30th. And that would be Supervisor Bussey's report. Are there any questions?
No.
And Paul, would you like to add anything? That covered it all. Excellent. Do we need a motion?
Yeah, so I make a motion to approve these reports.
I second it.
Excellent. Second. Roll call?
Trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
Trustee Keenley,
Aye.
Trustee May,
Aye.
Trustee Perns.
Aye. There are no correspondence tonight. That'll move us on to old business. There is no old business, so that will move us on to new business. New business is, first off, the budget and the appropriation ordinance 2024-01, the Town Fund, General Assistance, and Sewer. Is there a motion to approve the budget and appropriation ordinance 2024-01, Town Fund, General Assistance, and Sewer?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Roll call?
Trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
Trustee Keenley,
Aye.
Trustee May,
Aye.
Trustee Perns.
Aye. The other item on new business is the budget and the appropriation ordinance number 2024-02, RD, the Road Department. Is there a motion to approve budget and appropriation ordinance
So moved.
2024?
Second.
Excellent. Roll call?
Trustee Narodowski,
Aye.
Trustee Keenley,
Aye.
Trustee May,
Aye.
Trustee Perns.
Aye. That goes on to any discussion and comments from the trustees. Do we have any tonight?
No.
Nice job tonight, David.
Thank you, thank you. So with no discussion, that will go into executive session matters, which we don't have any tonight. So if I can have a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Nice job.
That felt good.